Hi, Jason. How are you? Hi from Hamilton, Ohio. I'm good. Ugh, my dog. Shh. Quiet. Quiet, miss. What time is it, Jason, where you're at? Aw, thanks, Robert. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Hi, Dream. So you can't, when it's kind of one of those things, Dream, where if you want to take your attention and awareness away from that as much as possible, because then you're in a way you're matching that energy when you're aware of people being that way. The more that you can, focus on yourself again and do the work on yourself and try to find the best in others, like you'll start just focus on the positive, right? What tends to happen is they tend to match your energy when they're around you, and also tend to fade out of your life, so you don't see them as much, right? But it's kind of like our job to love unconditionally, right? So loving people no matter what, loving them no matter what, seeing the best in everyone, us being kind because we want to be kind, being non-judgmental in a way, and kind of letting things just unfold. Letting things unfold. I always say, like, people are going to join you and some aren't, and that's okay, right? Does that kind of like make sense a little bit? I always just say, like, be aware of where your attention is going. Because if you're so focused on people being negative and low vibrational and miserable and mean, you're actually matching that energy. We don't realize that. That's why I always tell people to step away from as much as you can. Step away from as much as you can. Focus on yourself as much as you can. I feel like that's why, but it's like it's super dark. Does that kind of make sense, Dream? So this is kind of where everything started for me, was at my job, and everybody called this one girl negative all the time. And I knew that if I kept focusing on her, on that, and like her complaining, and I knew she just didn't want to be there anymore. So I had to take my attention away from it as much as possible. And the more that I did that, and I seen the best in her, and I had compassion for her, and I would say, you know what, we never know what's going on in people's minds. And, just having that compassion, what started to happen was that I wasn't seeing her anymore in the office, and it was a very small office. So we just missed each other all the time. And anytime I seen her, I was always very pleasant around her and said hi to her. I had nothing against her at all. And what actually happened in the long run is that she left. She left the plate. She left the job. So by me just having that compassion for her all the time and seeing the best in her, even though at times it was tough because I knew she really didn't want to be there anymore, what happened was, like I said, we didn't encounter each other anymore, and she eventually did leave. She left the office. So that's what tends to happen. It's like you just don't see them as much anymore. And it's like Abraham always explained it as you're almost taken out of an environment. If you're in an environment and you're raising your energy and no one else is joining you in that, you're taken out of that environment. So don't worry about other people so much, Dream. Focus more on yourself and just have compassion for others. Basically, just to make it simple, focus more on yourself, feeling good on your own, and just have compassion for where people are at and love them with where they're at. So yes, I have a very, very close family. But I love them no matter what. And no matter what it's just the fact that not everybody understands me and what I'm doing, and that's okay too, right? So Dream, just go to these things and be positive. You stay positive. You stay true to who you are, no matter what's happening around you. It's actually an opportunity for you to do that, because remember, everything is an opportunity for you to be the best version of yourself. So those situations are perfect for you to practice that in those moments. Staying positive, staying happy, no matter what's happening around you. But being alone is not, it's kind of part of the journey. I find it to be part of the journey. I think the sooner we can accept that part of it, the better, because from that will come everything that you deserve and that you've been manifesting and that you've been asking for, like your best life. So, that quiet time, it to me is necessary. It's actually what I'm writing in the next book that I'm writing, Releasing Resistance. And it's going to talk about that a lot. And it's kind of like how you can almost speed the things along by truly cutting things out that just don't serve you anymore, right? And Dream, I don't know if you can say no to certain things. If you say that you get together all the time, sometimes you have to say no because you just don't feel up to it. And you have to put yourself first and not worry about how they're going to judge you, right? And not take things personally if they do. But also you have to see where you're at with things, because sometimes that can cause more resistance as well. Sometimes it can cause more resistance not to go to something, because then we're so worried what people are thinking about us that it just causes more resistance. So we're just not there yet. But the more we can practice that and not worrying about what people think about us because we're putting ourselves first, the better. And the easier it gets to be able to say, you know what, I'm putting my peace first for me so I can improve my life and become the best version of me and move towards my best life. So there you go, Dream. So that, remember, everything, it's all like, it's because you're still attracting that to you, because you're still feeling like people are judging you. So you're still not able to be, secure. You're not secure yet in your energy, and that's okay. Because so you want to just keep practicing releasing resistance around that in your life right now. Practice calmness. Practice in those moments just really getting calm, because you're going to get a whole different version of people when you do this work, when you practice releasing resistance. So you just have resistance around this area in your life right now, right? So this is a good opportunity for you to really practice remaining calm when even these thoughts pop up in your mind about these gatherings and about you not really wanting to be there as much anymore, because you're changing and you're moving towards other things, and that's okay, right? You're moving towards, better for yourself, and you're allowed to do that. But you want to practice releasing resistance around, otherwise you're holding yourself back and you're putting other people before you, right? Mom voice, yes. I have always had a teacher's way of speaking. I don't know why or how. I always think about it when I was young, playing like school with kids and stuff. I had to be the teacher. Like there was no other. I was like the bossy friend. Like I'm the teacher, I'm the boss, I'm the mom. It's so true, Ava. It's almost like I always say, whenever I feel like you always have to remind yourself that nobody can hurt you in your reality unless we give them permission. It's all you, it's all your thoughts, right? So if you ever feel like you're picking up on something, like, we start creating a story in our minds, like, oh, they're going to be mad at me if I don't do this, or they're not, but like, again, we're taking something personal and we're starting to create a story that doesn't serve us. And if we keep saying that story over and over again, we're going to get evidence of it. So these are moments to really practice calmness. Like practicing calmness, you want to do this in your everyday life all the time. Again, because like you said, Ava, you start really seeing the results quickly of that, of remaining calm. And what it's doing is it's allowing what's actually meant for you to come in, because you're putting yourself first. When you're practicing calmness and releasing resistance, that's you putting yourself first. That's self-love at its best. I do that. I used to do that too, Ava. Like if I was ever having like a tough time with something or with a story, and I know it's all me and I accept that 100%, I would just say to someone in my mind, I love you for who you are, I love you no matter what. And I would just like start saying stuff like that, and that would release resistance for me. But just know that your world's going to get very quiet for a while because you're practicing releasing resistance. You're practicing calmness. It's meditative. It's meditation when you're practicing calmness. And if you're doing meditation and breath work as well, your world is going to get quiet, but it's you cleaning up your energy from all the unconscious creations that don't serve you anymore, from all the thoughts that don't serve you anymore. It's a really good thing when your world starts to get quiet, but we tend to like think nothing's happening. We tend to think that, then we start feeling like we're bored and we're lonely, and you want to get out of that because that's also dropping you too. So just accept where you're at, because trust me, you're exactly where you need to be. So for me, even at times, like my days are very quiet, and for the most part, I don't even listen to anything. I just turn on like the fan sound that I love, and I'll just walk through my house and clean my house, and like I have a day where I just listen to like the fan noise. I don't even listen to music sometimes. Or Abraham. Yes, it's so true, Ava. So yeah, it's happened to me plenty of times because I was always going from workplace to workplace. And as soon as you go into a workplace, there's a whole story that people want to share with you that they've created, you know, from being there for so long, right? They have their stories about everybody. And I used to say, I don't want to hear it because I want to form my own relationships with these people, not the ones that you have with them and your story about them. And people would say, this person's like this and that person's like that. But I only had positive relationships with people, right? I always had positive relationships with people. Even if somebody would tell me that that person's negative or that person's this or that person's that, I would see a totally different person than they seen. But that's because they formed such a strong story about this person, right? Hi, Sunny. How are you? And just by you, Ava, like being positive and kind to people, you bring that out in others, right? We bring that out in other people. Hi, JMC. It's okay, Dream. It's okay. For me, honestly, I can truthfully say it's been such a gradual process for me that I haven't really noticed until most recently how much that I've actually changed, and how like I don't do the same things that I used to do. But it's okay because you know what your future holds, right? You know, you start to see where you're going. And you know, here's the thing, this is what I always say, Dream. Everybody has access to this energy. Everybody has access to their best timeline. We all have access to that. And it's not up to you to decide whether someone else chooses that path or not, but you get to choose it for yourself, right? So of course you're choosing it for yourself, but you can't make others choose that path, right? That's how I look at it. Of course, we want the best for everybody, and that's why we like Dream. I know you share your information all the time. I'm always sharing my content, and it's only for people that resonate with it, but I will never force this upon anyone. That doesn't work. That does not work at all, because people get very defensive, right, if you try to say anything at all. So like, you just do your thing, and people may start saying, well, what did you do? And they might start getting interested, or they may not. It doesn't matter. You just be the example. You be the example by, you know, moving on toward to your best path. And you know, you never want to sell yourself short because you don't resonate with the same people anymore, right? Everybody's always going to have a special place in your heart, right? Forever. So it's always going to be, Angelica, just you practicing that calmness, Angelica. Stay really calm, do some breath work, but that is always going to be my answer. And I know it's so like, that's it, that's all you can give me, but it's truly like the answer to everything is, as much as you can, is to calm yourself down in those moments, slow your energy down as much as you can, and do some breath work, focus on your breathing, try to quiet your thoughts as much as possible. If you're not meditating, I highly recommend meditation, because it's really going to help you practice quieting your thoughts. And just know that you're quieting down all those unfavorable thoughts and stories by doing this. And like I said, it's not always comfortable. It's not always comfortable. But it's working. It's just sometimes it doesn't feel like it. Exactly, Ava. Like, you can't change anything outside of you in this very moment, but you can control how you respond to things. You can also control a lot of things. Like, you can cut a lot of things out that don't serve you right now. You can do that right now, right? But again, you also have control over how you respond to everything outside of you. So Kramer, I don't talk about manifestation as living in the end. I don't know what you're doing to manifest, but you don't have to do anything to manifest, okay? For me, it's done. It's done, and it's unfolding in this very moment. And your only job is to release resistance. That's it. You're just releasing thoughts that are opposite of what you're manifesting. That's all you're doing. Thoughts that are opposition. And this would be a thought of opposition right now, saying like, what if it's been 2 years? That's a thought of an opposition. That's you thinking that it's taking too long. You have to keep reminding yourself that everything's unfolding perfectly. There's nothing you need to do in regards to a manifestation. If you're ever doing anything to manifest, just think about that word, doing. There's nothing you have to do, because it's already done. You just allow it to unfold by releasing what doesn't serve you. Releasing the thoughts that don't serve you. That's all you're doing. Because remember, it's very simple. Your thoughts create your reality. Like, you literally can't get away from that. Your thoughts your every thought is creating your reality. Thanks for the likes. Thanks, N Alignment. Oh, did you go Dream? This is so weird, Dream. My world is so small. This is how small my world is. I was just sitting down and now this is a really random thought, Dream. I said, I would like to go to the aquarium. I haven't been there in a while. Like, that's how small my world is, that you actually said that just now. Like, is that crazy? I literally just said that. I said, and that's very random for me. I would never even think or want to go to the aquarium like that. But I said, oh, I would like to go to the aquarium. I haven't been there in a while. And you just said that. That stuff still always, like, that's how powerful our thoughts are. What made you realize that there's no need for techniques? JT, man, I'm just going to tell you right now. I kept asking questions. I have no problem being by myself and asking more questions and diving deep into my emotions and stuff like that. I'm not afraid to, like, not saying that it's comfortable, and I haven't had many challenges and things that I had to overcome. But I think that resulted in me understanding how actually easy this actually is. I always used to say, JT, like, there has to be an easier way. I did techniques and I was like, I hate these. I literally hate these techniques. I felt like it was work. I felt like they were work. I felt like it was a job. So the more that I really listened to Abraham Hicks, because I think she's literally the best ever. I think she's the most updated teacher, her and Bashar. I realized, like, you don't have to do anything, that everything's already written. Like, as soon as you think of something that you want, like, that story already exists. So there's nothing you have to do. The only thing you have to do, and it makes sense though, listen, JT, it's only your thoughts that are creating your reality, right? And the only thing that's keeping you from what you're getting is the thoughts that are in opposition of your manifestations. That's it. So just really think about it. Like, your thoughts create your reality, and it's the doubts and the worries and the why nots and is it going to happen, and that's what's keeping you from getting it. So you only have to release those thoughts. You only have to release the thoughts that don't serve you. And how do you do that? By staying calm, by meditating. That's it. Because everything else is already done. The story is already written. And I've seen it, I'm watching it happen in front of me. The more that I just release what doesn't serve me, my life is unfolding very smoothly. And it's also very quiet, but it's also making sense to me. I'm able to really see how things are unfolding for me. I'm not doing a thing. I am not doing anything that I don't want to do. I'm just doing everyday life things like, yeah, today I'm going to get up and I'm going to take a ride and get my strawberry drink and make dinner for my kids. Maybe today I won't make dinner for my kids. I'll go grab something. Like, my life is very just simple. And obviously I'm writing my books and, you know, talking about my books a lot too. But that was like one thing led to the next. Even my TikToks, one thing led to the next. There was never effort involved in anything that I have done. Like, I didn't really like have like specific manifestations around, like, I knew I always wanted to write books. I like to write, but that was like it. Like, that's as far as it went. What, Paul? Is this a true story, Paul? Right? And alignment. And the more that I just practicing staying calm and relaxing into resistance, and obviously on the other side of that is you feeling good, which is your true nature. That's why I've kind of realized that the more, like, feeling good is natural. So when you're feeling good, you're in flow. You're not really worried about anything. You're just kind of going through life. Sometimes a lot of people have to practice feeling good because we think a lot of things that feel good actually don't, right? We get wrapped up in things that don't serve us anymore, and we forget what it's like to truly feel good, like your true nature. But that's quick and that's easy. It's mostly about releasing what doesn't serve you, because on the other side of that is everything that serves you. So I've always went back to calmness and releasing resistance and meditation. It's always seemed to be the way to get, like, to help me manifest or whatever, like, is by releasing the thoughts that don't serve me anymore. And by staying calm, that's what happens, because then everything starts to work in your favor. And you start to see that even when you think things that you think something normally, you're like, wait, this doesn't feel right. It almost feels like you're going backwards with certain things that are happening. It's actually not. It's actually part of the path. And if you stay calm, you'll be able to see that. So always just practice calmness. I'm telling you, it's the answer to everything. You guys know, because you've already witnessed it, so many of us. Yes, and that's another thing, JT. I'm sorry. I know there's other questions down here. It caused more resistance for me because I would be doing techniques and I'd be just remembering that I don't have it. So that's what I said. Like, why would you cause yourself more resistance? We're trying to release resistance, take the path of least resistance, and affirmations are not the path of least resistance. I also believe you're limiting yourself in how things can come in for you by letting go and being okay with where you're at. And not worrying about time. Don't worry about how long it takes. You're allowing it to come in the best way possible for you. Let things unfold. You're moving towards your best life. Always remember that. So don't worry about how long it's going to take, right? Yeah, so I've heard about EFT tapping. I'm more so like breath work, but I've heard people do EFT, whatever EFT tapping. But I resonate more with just doing breath work or just even focusing on my breathing. But you do whatever works for you. Always do what works for you. How is what part of the path? It really is an alignment. I am right with you there. I've always been just able to like be by myself all the time. I like really quiet life. I like things just to run very smoothly, and that's how my life has always been. It's always been like that. I've always been able to like things just kind of fall into place. And then of course learning all this, my whole life got flipped upside down. So I had to like relearn things in a way, right? Because I was like I always tell people, like I was literally jumping timelines, jumping out of timelines, in and out of timelines. There's Steve. Steven. Yes, Ava. And I know a lot of people used to ask me, Matt would always say, and a couple other people, like, they were very concerned about action. When do I take action? How do I know if I should take action? Trust me, it will never feel like action. It's called inspired action for a reason, but I don't even like the word action to be in there. I like it to be called, it's natural. It's almost, more so like, I know the word inspired is like in excitement, but that's what it feels like. It's like you're excited to do it. Like I was excited to start writing this newer ebook. I was so excited. I sat down and I was like so excited. That's what it is. It's not like, when I worked, that was effort. That was exhausting. That was like, all right, got to get up, got to get ready, and I did it, and I was a trooper about it, but I didn't love it. I felt like I was in prison. And I love the people I work with. I was never against anybody that I worked with. I got along with everybody wherever I went. I was always that person. But guess what? I felt like I was in prison. It wasn't personal against anybody. It was me. I felt imprisoned by my own mind, right? Driving there every day. I'm like, there has to be more to life than this. Working these hours and then working longer hours and coming home and being a mom. Am I going to be doing? And then there was women that worked there. They were like in their 70s and 80s. And I'm like, I can't do this till I'm 80. I can't. Like, I was like, no, there's got to be a better way to live your life. Mara, yes, I would say if you can come from a high energy, you can say something if that helps you release resistance in the moment. If you can come from a high, positive, loving energy, you can not do anything and it'll work itself out. You can. I've challenged this many times. I know a lot of people will say, like, you're not sticking up for yourself, but you don't remember, nobody can hurt you in your reality, Mara. Just remember that. But if you can get yourself to a very good place, you can say something in a kind way to release resistance on your part. But again, you don't have to. Okay, so go within and do what feels best for you. Trust yourself, trust your decision. Also, Mara, you can't make a mistake, okay? So just always think where you're coming from with things, right? Come from those loving energies. Do you personally feel you stay calm and manifest certain areas? So JT, for me, it's a whole life change. I'm not manifesting just one area, this area, or that area. It's like literally my life. It's literally me moving towards my best life. I don't have anything like specific, right? I'm just moving towards my best timeline, like writing my ebooks, helping as many people as I can help, and just constantly moving towards more and better. So I don't really have a specific area. Honestly, I don't. I just use everything in my reality to the best of my ability to help me stay calm. If it doesn't serve me anymore, I know it's an outdated story that doesn't serve me anymore. If it doesn't feel good, I know that it's just not meant for me anymore. So I just remain calm and I let it pass me by, and then that allows what's meant for me to come in. Does that kind of make sense? I know it sounds really simple, guys, but literally this is what I do. And this is what has changed my life and many others who have started doing this. How is saying affirmations not the path of least resistance? Because you're causing yourself more resistance when you don't believe it. When you're saying affirmations. When you're saying affirmations, you got to keep saying them until you believe it. And you don't have to do it that way. Because the only thing that is keeping you from this manifestation is the thoughts of opposition. The thoughts that are opposite of that manifestation, right? The resistance around it is you're not experiencing it. So you only need to practice releasing resistance. You only need to stay calm. That's it, to release it. Not only is it going to bring it in, it's going to bring it in the best way possible for you too. So you actually want to take your attention off the manifestation. You want to take it off the manifestation and focus more on yourself, right? You're not letting go of it, right? Of course you're not letting go of it. You're letting go of the thoughts that don't serve you. The resistance around the manifestation. the unfavorable thoughts, the thoughts in opposition. Hi, Nathan. How are you? Hi, Tony. Did I answer it, Angelica? I'm scrolling up now to see if I missed anything. Trust everything is in your favor. Aha. Thanks, N alignment. Here, do I not confront the person? Do you personally? Yeah, I was saying. But Marissa, listen, you always have to do what feels best for you. Just because I say something doesn't mean you have to listen to me, right? You do it if you love doing them in regards to your manifestation and that feels good to you, then you continue doing them. I'm never telling anyone that they can't do them. I'm just telling people a different way, and people will resonate with it or they won't, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to resonate with what I say. I just share through my experience and what has worked best for me. So I always like to say that. Like, a lot of people get defensive when they say, no, affirmations. I love affirmations. Why are you telling? I don't tell people they can't do affirmations. I just tell people that they didn't work for me. And a lot of people resonate with that. They're like, they feel relief from that they don't have to do them. Because everything's already done. Your manifestation everything's done. The story's already written. There's nothing you need to do in regards to that. I don't think I did, Angelica, because I scrolled up. So ask me again because I didn't see it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Okay, so that's exactly where you're having resistance. It's okay. Listen, let me just tell you right now, and I'm going to be very honest with you. I can't tell you how many times I've said that. But here's the trick. Don't say it on here. And I know you want to vent, and you want to know, you want to ask for help, and you want guidance, and trust me, I know, because I've been there. In those moments when you're like, what am I doing wrong? Why isn't this working? It is working. It is working. It's all unfolding. You just can't see it. But that's resistance, and that's an unfavorable thought, and that's a thought in opposition. And when you have those moments and you're like, why isn't this working? And what am I doing wrong? Say them in silence. Say them to yourself. Say it quietly and go within and get very calm. And I promise you will get an answer. Maybe I'm your answer right now. But seriously, keep doing the practice of remaining calm and breathing slower and going throughout your day in slow motion, adding some breath work, add some meditation. I promise you, you're going to start seeing changes. We all feel that way. We all go through where we think, does this work? Am I doing something wrong? Do I need to do more? I've asked this question many times, but I always said it to myself. I always kept it very silent, like I was speaking to my higher self maybe, I don't know. And I always got clarity throughout my day by just remaining calm. Trust me, it's working. Trust me, you're doing everything perfectly fine. But you're really not supposed to know or see how this unfolds. That's the part. It's about trusting. It's about trusting yourself. It's about trusting in, your higher self, this higher power doing this for you. Just sit back and allow it, basically. Tony, and be patient with yourself, because like I always said, like I feel like that takes, I'm writing this book, Release Resistance, because I really want to help people, like, the few things that you can do to speed things along are by staying away from a lot of stuff on the internet, guys. Stay away from a lot of things that just don't feel good, that just don't serve you. Try to really quiet your world. You have control of that in that moment. To me, that's how you speed things along, is to just really go within and sit with that discomfort. I know that stinks, right? But like, truthfully, if you can sit with that discomfort and calmness, you're releasing old stories. You're cutting through limiting beliefs, and just keep practicing that and get comfortable with sitting in that discomfort, and it'll get so much easier, and you'll master it because it won't last long. I can promise you it won't last long. And it's not that you have to suffer, because you don't. It's about understanding that there's nothing to be afraid of. That when you're in that discomfort right there, you breathe slower, you quiet your mind as much as possible, you remind yourself that everything's unfolding perfectly, you're exactly where you need to be. Practice calmness. Practice that calmness. Yeah, and that's another thing. I love that, actually. I absolutely love that, Sally, because guess what? You can react. You can spiral. Guess what? You can cry. You can scream. It's not about that. It's about, are you going to pick yourself back up again from that? That's it. And I promise you, you will react less and less. But you're allowed to react. You're going to react, right? Like, you have to be faced with these things that don't serve you anymore so you can know that they don't serve you anymore, right? And that's always going to happen, because guess what? You're always going to be growing and expanding. So at one point, there's going to be some things in your life that may not serve you anymore, right? So you're always going to be hit with some sort of resistance at time, just to let you know, like, you know what? This kind of doesn't serve you anymore. It's time to move out of this. Okay, let me move towards this, right? And you just continue staying calm and doing things that feel good, and everything will just keep unfolding for you. Did I miss something, guys? Sherry, I feel like I haven't seen you a while on here. Where have you been, girl? Did I miss a joke? Am I missing out on all the fun? Yeah, that's what it is, right, Ava? Cutting through your limiting beliefs. Like, that's basically what you're doing, like, when you're staying calm. I say so many different things, but it all means the same, right? You're releasing resistance. You're, killing old stories that don't serve you anymore. But they are all limiting beliefs. Oh, okay. See how I miss that stuff? It just goes over my head. Oh, God. That's funny. Me over here being all serious. You know what? I don't do anything like that right now. Oh, you're in the private Facebook group. I'm going to work on something to start doing some type of coaching. My biggest thing is making sure people, like, a lot of times people want to talk about their story. And I know this sounds like not sensitive, but I don't want people to keep activating these stories that don't serve them, right? Because that's the point, because your thoughts create your reality. So I'm trying to find a way about it where we don't waste a half an hour. Like, I used to do hour sessions, and it would be like 30 minutes of people just venting. And it's like, like, I'm trying to tell you, like, don't do this. This is not only a waste, this is a waste of your money and your time. We're talking about your story that doesn't serve you, right? I want to give people the tips and tools to help you release resistance, basically, around these topics. So let me come up with something to start doing some coaching. So Rory, you don't have to, just know this, Rory. Know that you've been asking your whole entire life. You've been asking for more of everything, better relationships, more money, love yourself more. I mean, the sky's the limit. You've been asking forever. But when it comes to having this is driving me crazy today. My necklace is it won't go straight. When it comes to asking for something specific or whatever, you just, that's it. You just say, this is what I want to experience. And you just have to know that as soon as you think it, it's already done. When you have that desire that you want to experience something, it's done in that very moment. There's already a path leading you to it in that very moment. So you don't have to do anything specific. You don't have to write it out, or you don't have to affirm for it. It's as soon as you say it, that's it. Leave it out, leave it go, and go live your life. It's unfolding in this very moment. The less you can focus on it, the better. Focus on yourself. Focus on feeling good on your own. Oh, guys, those flowers, they're dead. Look how bad they are. I just realized they're awful. Someone just said your flowers, your colorful flowers, but look at them. They all fell. I did a video today. If you've seen the funny one that I did of whatever, like the God one or whatever, and I look at the back and I'm like, oh my God, my flowers are dead back there. Those poor flowers. I just realized I'm sitting here with these dead flowers behind me. I know, they're my daughters. I took care of them, and I'm not a good plant person. I'm not. Hey, one time you know what, they have so many sparkles. I think they were going to last very long because they were heavy with sparkles. They had like all these sparkles on them. I promise you it's a scam. It's only action. It's only putting yourself out there and making it. I don't know what you mean by that. You promise what's a scam? It's your thoughts. Your thoughts create reality. Where do you take the soundtrack from when you do your funny videos? So Ava, it's just like videos. It's like just TikToks that other people make, and like I take it from theirs. So like, if you go down to the corner, there's like that little circle, right? That little circle, they click on it and then you can save it. And it'll say add to your favorites. And then you can make it by pushing the plus and adding that song. You know what I mean? And then you do the words. And also, like, I always put it on like 3 so it's slower. So I can, because I am not good at like a good actress in the fact that I have to like memorize these things. I'm drinking tea, Heather. Did you kind of know what I said, Ava, like how I did it? I think they're fun. I like to do them. I laugh because like my videos are so serious, and then I have like these funny videos. Hi, Matt. I know, I love my tea. I love my tea. I'm struggling remaining calm with so many fears popping up and won't go away. Are you adding breath work, Sky? Add some breath work. I think, I forget sometimes about breath work, but it's so helpful when you find yourself like kind of panicking. The thing is just, I promise you that being calm is enough. I think sometimes we don't feel like being calm is enough either. But keep remaining calm. It is enough to kill off these things. It's just sometimes they linger still because we're still kind of reacting a little bit. But if you just keep remaining calm and breathing slower, and just know that like the story is still there sometimes in your mind, guys, but it is working itself out. Okay? Just keep remaining calm. And eventually just know that these things just don't serve you anymore. That's why they're so alive in your mind, because they're old stories that don't serve you anymore. And you just keep staying calm. They will work themselves out of your life by you just remaining calm. In the Northeast, you sound like... I'm from Philly. How do I stay calm in the Northeast? I'm in the most... Listen, you create your own reality. Listen, I'm in the most quiet area right now. Nobody's around where I'm at. It's super quiet. Like I always tell people, everything's a mirror. Everything's reflecting back to you. My life proves that to me every single day. I'm not seeing the same thing that everyone else sees, that are like people that are close to me and stuff like that. When people talk about things, like I'm in a different reality than like everybody. I don't talk about self-concept, Hebe. I don't talk about self-concept because that's like affirmations and stuff, right? I believe that I literally, it's for me, Heba, it's just remaining calm. That's it. And feeling the best you can in each moment. Feeling the best you can in each moment, and more so remaining calm when you don't, because you don't really have to focus on feeling good, because when you're feeling good, again, you're just feeling good, right? You're light, you're moving through life, you're in flow. It's being aware of those moments when you don't feel good. That's helping you release resistance. So it's mostly about taking your attention off the manifestation as much as possible, and focusing more on releasing resistance in your everyday normal life. Everyday normal life, you practice calmness, you practice, meditation, breath work, and all those things alone is all you need to do. Because when you're releasing resistance, that is 100% self-love. That is you working on your self-concept. That is you coming into alignment with your true self, your true authentic self, right? So I never resonated with self-concept work. Yes, right, Ava? It's literally a mirror. Yeah, so Matt, like, I feel like for me, whenever I always say, like, I think if it's in our awareness, we keep seeing it, and the more we get excited for it, we keep seeing it, because it's all us, right? It's all our energy. And for me, it was always like seeing numbers like 222, 333, 444. And like, I would be like, oh my God, I'm in alignment, I'm feeling good. I love seeing stuff like that. But it's because it's in your awareness and you're giving it attention, so you keep seeing it, right? But it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing, because that's you manifesting, Matt. It's showing how powerful you are, right? You're the manifester. Oh my gosh, what the heck? Why is this not staying straight today? It's like just not working. So I just always like it, because it's like you're in just some type of a rhythm going, and then you're seeing more, and it's building momentum. It's building momentum, but it's all you. I know, me neither. I don't journal anymore. I write. Sometimes I have these little tiny cards. I wish I had one here. I could show you guys. I have these little tiny cards that I made like 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I made these little business cards, right? And they say like meditation and like breath work and all this stuff, that I was gonna like start doing demos and stuff. I never did it, but anyway, I write. Sometimes I'll write stuff on these. Like I'll just write like little things, like reminders, like feel good, like little reminders. You only need to feel good. Stay calm. I'm here to live an amazing life. Like little things like that. No, you're right. And you're right in alignment. It takes practice. That's what I always say. Like, it takes practice to practice calmness. Because why? We're so reactive as humans. We're so reactive. I had someone today, me and my daughter were in the car, or maybe it was me and my son, and somebody was beeping the horn at me because there was a bus in front of me, and I let somebody out of the gas station because there was a bus in front of us, so we had time. And he was beeping at me, and he was like putting his middle finger up, and we were laughing because I laugh those things off. I don't get upset over that. But I felt bad for him. I'm like, this guy, like, he's so upset over this right now. Like, we're so reactive as humans. We don't even realize how reactive we are. And when we're aware that our thoughts create our reality, and we're giving these things so much attention, and we just keep experiencing it over and over again. That's resistance, MS. But also when I would get headaches, to be honest with you, MS, it was a lot of times that like my energy was raising. Like I was actually, because when I would meditate a lot, I would get tension headaches and headaches. But for me, resistance is more in my stomach. That's where I get resistance, not too much in my head. But when I would get headaches, it was because I was from meditating. So for me, I was elevating, like my energy was raising. How do you change your internal beliefs about yourself to believe you deserve? Heba, that all comes down to remaining calm, because that's all unfavorable thoughts. They're all thoughts in opposition of you moving towards your best life and your best self, right? So just know it's only your thoughts that are creating your reality. So if you feel like you don't deserve something, that's a thought that you have. That's an unfavorable thought. And the only thing you're doing is releasing resistance. Here's the thing. Nobody can grasp the fact that it's so much easier to do this than you've been taught. There's easier ways to do things. You're unlimited. You've just got on the bandwagon of affirmations and doing self-concept and doing to get to manifest. So you're on that right now. So you learn that way. And now you're just like thinking you have to do something. You don't have to do anything to manifest, to become your best version of you, to build your confidence up in who you are, become secure and stable. You only have to let go of the thoughts telling you you can't and you aren't and you're not and this is hard. You're only letting go of those thoughts. How do you do that? You release resistance. How do you release resistance? You remain calm. You practice calmness. You practice non-reaction. That's it. That's it. It's that simple. But you can't, because of all the information overload out there and all the people that you're probably listening to and what you heard and what you have stuck in here, you're like, no, it can't be that easy. There's got to be more. I got to keep searching. There's got to be other ways. I got to learn the best affirmation. I got to keep doing this. I got to keep doing that. And you're just creating more resistance. You don't have to do anything. You literally don't have to do anything. You have to do less. So I promise you, if you keep practicing, but here's the thing. It takes practice because there's a lot of unfavorable thoughts in our minds from before we knew this. And you think you're not making progress, but I can promise you, you're literally always making progress. And the more that you can stay away from all this outside information, the better you're going to do yourself a service from all this stuff from outside of you that you're entertaining, because you're cluttering your mind and you're causing yourself more resistance. So that stuff we have control over. We have control over what we entertain. Where are you headed? Oh, Steve? Yes, I saw that. Thought said, no, it's not that. And so when you're raising your energy, you can feel lost. So it's not really that you feel lost. It's just, it's like almost like your world's shaken up a little bit when you start meditating and stuff like that. And you start becoming sensitive to energy. So you're more sensitive because you're more aware. You're more aware of what doesn't feel good, right? When you start meditating and all this, like you're being aware of like, wait a minute, I create my own reality. All this information starts coming into your life that you create your own reality. And when you start meditating, you do become more sensitive to energy. You're more sensitive. So you feel a little bit lost because you're a little confused, right? Everybody goes through that, where it's like, who am I? And what am I doing here? And, we're lost and confused a little bit. Yes, Ava. Exactly. You're literally unlearning. Exactly. It is unfamiliar at first. It is. But it's your truth. And you'll fall more into alignment with that. But there is a little bit of a confusion. It's part of the process, I believe. So even just learning this information and researching, I believe that's part of it too, because you need to convince your mind that you create your own reality. That's why I was looking up all this information and following people and listening to Joe Dispenza and Abraham and Neville. And I had so many people that I was listening to because I needed to convince myself that I created my own reality. Because at first I didn't believe it. You're 100,000,000% not going crazy, and you're not alone. And that's why we're here, and that's why, you know, even my Facebook group and stuff like that, that's why you have other people that are going through this too. And I remember feeling that because I really didn't have anybody. It was just me. Yes, and alignment. Just keep calming yourself down, Sky. Don't panic. Keep calming yourself down, breathing slower. Just center yourself. Tell yourself you're okay, that you're safe. Everything's, you know, you're exactly where you need to be in this moment. You could say relearning, or you could say you're unlearning in a way. You're getting rid of all the stuff that was programmed into you. You're letting go of all the stuff that society has told you to be, your people around you have told you to be, that you've picked up and you've accepted as truth, right? So you're letting go of all those limiting beliefs. You're letting go of all the lies. You're letting go of all the lies. And underneath all of that is your truth. What was that? Would you rather gain muscle or something? You know what's funny? I call it deprogramming, because like you're getting rid of all the stuff, right? Like of all the stuff. And underneath all of that is your truth. Underneath all those lies is your truth. Hi, Bruce. You want me to jump off? Hang out? Not me? All right, I'm going to jump off, guys, for the night. And then be back on here tomorrow with you guys. Thanks for jumping on tonight, guys. Everyone have a really good night. And if anybody's new on here, private Facebook group that we have, and if I have, again, I like to mention the new videos that I posted on releasing resistance, which are really helpful. You can jump and check those out. But everyone have a really good night, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye, guys.